Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check in 1, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Check, check. I think everything's live. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens here. Library. What is going on with this? Really? Okay. Check, check, check. Hey, Quentin's. Can you hear me, Quentin? Let me know. I've had a computer crash, so I need to know if everything is back up and running. Robert Page, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Let me just pause this. Stop live playback. Cool. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. I've had like I said, a computer crash issue, and I had to well, not reformat, but redo my streaming software session template, whatever. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Let me just bring that up a bit. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Good. Will, how's it going, Will? Wow, my third live chat already. What a morning. Yeah, it's been a busy day. Todd Flowers, Quinton's in here. Again, I don't know what happened, but I was just finishing up some recording. I did recording all day because I wanted to start doing the original stuff, the original album that I'm working on for the end of the year. So I started today on the actual tracking of some stuff, and it went well, but in the afternoon I took a break earlier, and I came back to the computer, and there was all funky stuff going on. So I saved the session, and then I loaded up the live software just to see if it had affected anything, and my template was all kind of screwed up, so I don't know what was going on. So I figured I'll reset up the template and go live to make sure it still works, because I don't want to wait till Monday and then do a Monday show and have everything not working. So Ben, what's going on, Ben? So yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing. See if that's working. It looks like it's working. It might be a little loud. Let me know if you hear that or if it's too loud. Again, I had to reroute the sound, my interface, and set it all up in the streaming software again, because I don't know why it lost all the settings, but it got corrupted for some reason. Okay, Robert Page says loud but awesome. Well, that's always good. At least it's awesome. Let me turn it down a bit from here as well. So it should be a little bit lower. Let's see. Hey Ben, seems Hack took lessons from Quentin on live streaming. What happened? I guess I missed. I just watched a little bit of his outdoor thing he was doing earlier, but it froze on me, so I logged out of it. I guess he was having issues. Nathan, what's going on, man? Nathan just got off work. Again, this isn't a planned stream or anything. It's just like I was telling the other guys, just had a computer issue and I just needed to not reformat, but redo my template for live streaming, and I just wanted to make sure everything was still working. And it seems like it's working, but I don't know. Let me try the backing track thing to make sure that's still working. I don't know what to use. Let's see what that does. If I do that and bring it down before I blast everybody's ears off. Okay, can you guys hear that? Wow, that's weird. Okay. I'm not sure if that went through or not. Gotta see what's going on, man. Let me bring this chat window down here. I can see it better. Okay. Sounds good. Always nice to hear. Thanks, man. Is there a guitar show tomorrow? Will says, hey, Ben. So Ben, you guys going to the guitar show tomorrow, right? I'm not sure what you mean. Not that Ben says, me and Guitar Hack and Eric are going to meet up at the Cosmo Music Store tomorrow, if that's what you're asking about. We're going to go check out some guitars and some amps and stuff, and meet up, and should be fun. Yeah, it's a nice sunny day today, that's for sure. Let's put that down a bit. Yeah, let's see what is this guitar backing track here. I want to make sure that the level is okay because it seems to be kind of weird. Let me try this one. Is that coming through? Seems low. Guitar is too loud. Is that guitar is really? Wow. Okay. Well, see, this is the weird part because in my headphones, the backing track is way louder. Okay, that's good to know. Why is that happening, I wonder? Okay, I'm gonna have to try to figure that out now. Let me see if I'll play that again. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why this is happening. Oh man, there's always something, right? Maybe the signal is getting split somehow. Canadian internet, yeah. Well, the internet looks like it's okay right now. It's not the internet, it's something that happened with the computer this afternoon. Everything was working fine, but still too loud. There's something that I'm missing here, and it's gonna drive me nuts. Is it this? That's not it. Let's see about, that's fine. Output routing. There's got to be something that I'm missing here. It's not in my headphones, it's not, it's fine. And on the mixer it says, is it okay? On the mixer it says it's okay. Weird. That is really weird. Don't know what happened. Alright, so if I significantly, it's still coming in hot. Alright, well, I will have to figure that out. Chuck Booth, what's going on, man? Mitch Heyman, what's going on? Do you have a master mixer? I do have a master mixer. Everything was set perfectly until this, whatever happened here, this crash. And it seems like, maybe it's, is it this thing? 41. There's something that's causing one source in the mixer to be loud in the headphones and not through here, through the live stream, and I don't know why. That is really weird. This guitar should right now should be pretty low. Let me bring it right down. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Hold on, where are you guys here? I'm going to bring that chat window back up. I think I've got something here that might figure this out. Okay, so, did you guys hear that when I strummed that? It's going through anyway, and it should not. Okay, so that means that this is still going. Let me bring that down. Going. Weird. Alright, let me try. If I lose you, you'll know that why I'm just disconnecting something here. Come on out there. Okay. Aha. I think I figured it out, folks. Okay, you should still be hearing my voice. Test 1 2, test 1 2. You can still hear me, right? Let me know. Say, give me a thumbs up in there if you can still hear me, my voice wise. I think I figured out the guitar issue, but let's see. Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Voice, test 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, testing 1 2. Give me a thumbs up if you hear my voice. Yes, okay, Robert Page says yes. Okay, we're getting somewhere here, folks. We're getting somewhere. Let me, so now you shouldn't be hearing the guitar other than me picking here, but let me bring it up gradually. There we go. Guitar is heard now. Okay, I think I figured out what was going on. I don't know why that happened, but let's see if this works now. Great mix now. Okay, so that is the weirdest thing. It's because I don't know why that happened, but I had a digital connection going into my interface and it screwed everything up and it wouldn't allow me to separate the mixes. Now it's allowing me to separate them. Oh man, okay. I'm still gonna have to re-rig this thing if I want it to work with a digital, but anyway, that's for another day. So how you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. I'm just gonna make sure I'm still in focus here. And it looks like I am. All right. Hi Janice, how's it going? Marsman, what's up, brother? So yeah, so today was the first day of tracking for some new music that I'm writing, and it's I just been writing some stuff in the last couple of months, just some brief things. I wanted to get started by the end of March, which we are. We're in the last weekend, so I met that goal anyway and started. So I've been tracking pretty much all day, and so the way I do it is I basically do a ghost track of, you know, kind of scratch guitars and drums, and then basically I start to put everything together. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And yeah, so now it's putting the drums all figured out, getting all the fills in and getting all the drum sounds, and then I'll start tracking real guitars, a couple of tracks each, depending on how many layers I want to add, and then we're off to the races. So, but you know, I had this computer crash issue that kind of screwed up things, and I needed to take a break anyway, but then when I loaded up my live software, everything was all wonky. But it seems to be working now, so hopefully that solved the issue, which was a weird one. Mitch Heyman says the weekends are always good. Yes, I agree. I was off today. I've got a couple of Fridays that I can take off here and there, so it's nice. Ben says lazy day here, trying to get motivated to do some guitar setups. Yeah, sometimes it's good to take a break too, right? You do too much as far as guitar stuff, you get yourself burnt out. I know for me, I think I started getting all this set up and working. I was tracking this morning around 8 o'clock, so I was going, I didn't even look at the time, and it was like past noon and I was still going and needed to take a break. Your ears need a break too, because you keep going over and over stuff, you get ear fatigue, and then you're not really hearing the true tone of stuff. So you got to take a break once in a while. Let me go here. I wish I could make this chat bigger. Todd Flowers, what's going on? Perfect day down here, 78 degrees, low humidity, light breeze. Yeah, it's beautiful outside. It's supposed to be raining all day tomorrow though, but that's all right. It'll clean out the roads a little bit, so I can, because we need a couple of good rainstorms so that we can get the roads all cleaned up. There's a lot of salt and a lot of sand still on the roads, so once that's all cleared up, then we can take the motorcycles out, which is what I'm looking forward to. Lazar Guitars in the house. What's going on? Let's see, what does it say? What are you using for drum tracks? Laz says, I'm using Easy Drummer 2 to build all my drum tracks. Yeah, and that's what I've been using now for the last year, and I've been liking it quite a bit. I haven't done a lot of tracking in the last 4 or 5 months. I did some when I first got back into it in January, and just to get a setup going, getting the studio all configured, and then I wrote a couple of things, and some of the stuff that you hear in my live streams as far as like my intro and my when it says, you know, stream starting soon, that song and all that stuff, that's what I wrote last year, and I used Easy Drummer to do that. So I've been liking using that program for my drums. Now that I'm actually like recording for a real like EP or album, which I hope to have finalized by the end of the year, I'll probably still use Easy Drummer as the actual drums that will be on the album, or if I see that I need something more, then I might, you know, ask a buddy to come in and I'll send them the songs, and then he can track real drum tracks to it. But right now, I've been having some really good success with the sounds from Easy Drummer, so I can't complain. And they've got tons of packages as far as like, you know, patterns and styles and drum sets and all that. So you can pick them up for fairly cheap as far as what you get, and there's tons of options. It's just a matter of learning the program a little bit. Once you get your head around how it works, which isn't too complicated, it's worth it. I like it. I like it a lot. It makes things a lot more simple anyway, because I'm not a drummer, and even if I was, you know, I wasn't going to put a full drum set in the studio and have mics and everything and set up a mic drum set. It would be too much. So yeah, it's good software. Check it out. Robert Page says, writing a bit here today, so yeah, Fridays are good. The brain is tired and weird ideas tend to come out. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Will and Gussie are speaking about football and coaching. Cool. Yeah, so tomorrow, Guitar Hack, Eric from EVH Gear TV and I are all going to meet up at Cosmo, and we're going to try out a bunch of guitars and amps and pedals and things like that, and just meet up for, you know, a couple hours to... I met Guitar Hack before, briefly. I went to see him play a few weeks ago, but didn't really get a chance to kind of sit down and, you know, shoot the shit with him. And Eric I've never met. I've just met online, basically. So it'll be nice to meet in person and, you know, talk shop and have some fun. We'll probably try to record a little bit of video while we're there and try some cool guitars, because Cosmo always has a ton of cool guitars. What I'm hoping to do is that we can get there's a room there just for... like it's all basically soundproof, so you can try out all these cool amps and things. So if I can get in there, we can kind of secure that room for a little bit and just kind of bring in a couple of guitars, and we can plug into some Friedmans and some Mesa Boogie and Marshalls and whatever, and crank them a little bit and see what they sound like. And then, you know, you don't get a lot of people that will hear because it's a soundproof room, so you can kind of really test stuff. So... But it depends. Sometimes if the store is real busy and stuff, and there's people that need to get in there, you can't just go in there and take over the room. So we'll see what it's like, but it's usually pretty good. And then they've got another room there that's all the high-end guitars, like the SMEERs and the Friedmans and like the custom shop Fenders and Gibsons and Tom Andersons and stuff. They're all in that room, so we'll probably be spending some time in there. And they've got amps all set up for us there so that we can plug in all these guitars and try them out. So it'll be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, Ben says you got to write down when you're inspired. Yeah, that's a problem. I've been doing it more now. Like what I do if I have an idea and I'm just jamming and I come across the riff or something that I really like, if I don't take my phone out and just hit record on that little recording app on it, I'll forget it, or I'll play it very differently the next day. I don't know why, but it's just the way I am. And that's what happened with this particular song that I'm working on today. Is I had the riff earlier, a couple of weeks ago, and I was jamming along to it, and it felt good, and it's something that I wanted to keep pursuing. So I actually recorded on the phone, and then this week I started listening to it back the way that I played it back then. And if I hadn't done that, I would have never, maybe I would have remembered after playing a little bit, it would have started to come back to me, but it would have been a lot harder, because I don't know why my brain just doesn't retain stuff like that unless I play it over and over, and then I can, or I play it slightly different, which sometimes is good and sometimes, well, it's just more work. So definitely, if you have ideas, write them down or record them. Today with our iPhone and stuff, you have the built-in audio recording app on it. You just hit record and play and save it, and then when you want to go back and revisit ideas and riffs and stuff, it's all there, right? So that makes it very handy. So I've gotten in the habit of doing that now. I used to not do that. I just, oh, this sounds cool, and next day, what did I play again? How did I play it? So, Todd Flowers, hey Bam Ozzy, what's going on? Todd Flowers says, which of you will not buy a guitar? Nobody's, everybody said they're not buying guitars, they're not in the market for guitars, so we'll have to wait and see. I am in the market for a guitar, but it's something that I'm searching for right now, and it's not something I'm going to pull the trigger on right away. I need to find the right one, and it's a Gibson R9 that I'm looking for, and preferably a used one. And I'm looking, from 2014, 2015, 2016 would be a nice, range, or a year that I would like to get, because, I've heard they're really good for those years, and they're all good, I guess, but finding one in those years would be good, because the new ones are so damn expensive. If I can get a used one at reduced by a couple of $1,000, it would still be super expensive. I still gotta sell my Les Paul Standard, and even then I still have to come up with some money to pay the balance. So, but buying a new one right at Cosmo or something like that, it's like insane. It's like over $7,000 or something crazy. So, but I don't think that's happening tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll be able to try some. They had a couple of them when I was there a couple of weeks ago, so it'll be nice to, try them again and get a good feel for them. My problem is if I try something, like that's what happened with the Friedmans. I just went there one day and I was like, oh, let me try this guitar, and then it's so good and that it sticks with you, and then the next couple of weeks all I needed, like that's all I could think about, so then I go back and I buy it. Right, so, but that's just me. Let's see. Bam says going to find an R9. Well, we're just going to meet at the music store, kind of like, because we haven't met and we just wanted to hang out, and it's a cool day to go and do that. I'm not really going there to find an R9, and I don't expect to find one there. And if I do find one, it'll be full price, and I'm not going to do that. So I'll play it, and it'll be there, and I'll be able to get used to it, and to really see if that's the guitar that I'm going to be getting next. But not buying it at Cosmo unless they had some crazy deal, but I doubt it. Their deals usually come a couple times a year. Christmas time, they have a big thing, I think in January or something, and then they have something at their summer event, which is music, or Cosmo Music Fest or something. So they might have deals there, but I don't know. Todd Flowers says, I got the new AMS catalog today. Uh-oh, yeah. Catalogs with music gear, that's all you need. Let's see, if you have any questions, just post them in the chat. Just tag me on it so I can see it pop up there. And we'll try to get to it. I'm not going to be on for very long, and like I said, I was just coming on to try to figure out this issue with this template crashing, and I needed to figure that out, because if I didn't do that today and I hadn't figured out that something went wrong, I would be getting ready for my Monday show and it would all be screwed up, and then I'd really be scrambling. So it's a good thing I found it now. Let's see, Todd Flowers says, Brian Cote, I want an R9 from this year as a 60th birthday present, born in '59, and I ain't buying a real one. Yeah, if you were able, if you were going to buy a real '59, you'd be paying over 100 grand. That's crazy what they're asking for those guitars right now. Those people who have them are holding on to them, and those who are selling them for crazy money. But yeah, there's probably some guitars out, like I said, if you check on Reverb, you check other places. I've gone online and went to individual music stores all over the world and kind of looked at what they had. And I've got a music store that I deal with here up not too far from me, who have some connections in the guitar world. Obviously they're in that business, so they've got some feelers out there for me as well to see if there's anything that's floating around with my specs and the stuff that I'm looking for. So that's why I want to buy the R9, because it's my 50th birthday this year, and that's kind of like, I want to get a guitar that's going to be the one that I keep forever type thing, or hopefully keep forever, and it's kind of yet that mark of a milestone in life, and that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I hear you there, but buying a real one, a real 59, yeah, go see Joe Bonamassa and see if he wants to sell you one of his. Gussie says, I played an R9 a few years back. Sounded great, of course, on a Friedman Dirty Shirley. Yeah, that's a killer combo right there. That would be awesome. I hope to try I know they have an RO at Cosmo, because I played it a few weeks ago. Maybe they've got a couple more the last couple of weeks. They get them in on a regular basis, the custom shop stuff. So hopefully they've got an R9 there tomorrow that I can try out, and I will plug it into a Friedman. They've got a nice Friedman BE Deluxe 50 watter there, which is insane, like very expensive. You're talking an amp, just the head alone is 4,500 Canadian plus tax, so you're over 5 grand. But they've got it there for you to play, so I'm definitely going to plug in an R9 in that amp if I have the opportunity, that's for sure. Not looking to buy the amp, obviously not at that price, but they have a cool, like they have the Runt 50, I think they've got in stock, or the Runt 20, and I did try that one back in December. I really enjoyed that amp, and I was going to buy that amp, and I went with the Mesa that I have, the Triple Crown instead, for the simple fact that the Mesa had a little bit more tonal variety in it, because it does have 3 channels, and they're quite different, all 3 channels. So I needed to find something that had a lot of versatility so that I could use in the studio. If I had a lot of disposable income or something, I would have gotten the Friedman and something else and had a full tonal plate, but don't have that situation. But the Friedman amps are really nice, but they do their thing, and they do that very well. Whereas a Mesa, you can kind of get it to do a multiple of things fairly well, right? Pooh Ninja, what's going on? You hurt your hip to bring in groceries, not carry groceries, just walking in empty out cart. Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, that's not good. Bam Ozzy says, try the PRS 594 if you like the vintage Les Paul. I did try a 594 before. I really like it. But like I said, my heart's kind of set on an R9, because an R9 is basically, as far as neck profile, is very similar to this one, and this is a traditional, a 2018 traditional, and this guitar is what I've been playing a lot recently, and I used it a lot today for tracking, and I'm very comfortable with this neck. So if I can I did try an R9 a few weeks ago at another store, which had a very similar profile neck, so I felt very comfortable with it. So that's why I'm kind of, you know, geared for that one more than anything else. But we'll see, you know. We'll have to wait and see. The Greg Koch. Yeah, I saw that. He's got a nice guitar telly. All right. Yeah, so that's what's happening, and we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I'm going to be doing the Monday show at 7 o'clock instead of 7:30, so mark that down and hit the bell if you haven't on my channel so that you get notified when I go live. And then the following Monday, I don't know if I'll be doing a live show. I will try. I will be in Vegas that week, so if I can do it from Vegas, I'll do it. If not, then I'll let you guys know, and then you can do that. We'll check it out at that point. And the other thing is, if you can see on the screen here, the Instagram account that I've got, BrianCote_music. I've built that account just about a week ago just because I wanted an Instagram account that was just dedicated to the guitar stuff. So any photos or videos or things going on with the recording of the album and things like that, I'm going to be posting a lot more on that channel. So if you haven't and subscribed to my Instagram account, that's the music one. I know a lot of you have subscribed to my photography one, which is Brian Cote Photo. But if you're into guitars and music and that stuff, I'm going to be focusing that type of content to that account. So feel free to go to Instagram and subscribe to there for me, and that's where you'll find that type of content. I just found it's probably easier to do it that way because I don't like to mix a lot of the photography stuff. It's its own thing, and sometimes it's not music related, it's not guitar related, and the guitar stuff is always music related. So if I can separate those two things. The next project is because I've got my own website, briancote.com, but it's all photography related right now. So I'm thinking of splitting that up and doing like an opening page where you can either go to the photography side or the music side, and then having two separate websites to kind of cater to their own audiences, whether it's a photography or creative audience or more music and guitar related audience, and then I can post my content that way. But that's another project. I've got too many projects on the go, and sometimes you get too many things on the go, you don't do them efficiently, so I've got to be careful with that. Gussie says, my Dirty Shirley fits perfectly for classic rock tones. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with any Friedman. Yeah, I agree. What I might be looking into tomorrow is an overdrive pedal, because with my Mesa Triple Crown, you do have the 3 channels, and the first channel is your clean channel, and then there's a switch on the clean channel where you can make it kind of like dirty a little bit, so it's more like this is what it like right now. I'm on that channel, and I've got the gain pretty high, which is more classic rock, a little bit heavier than classic rock, I would say. So that's that channel there with set on, I guess the switch is on dirt or whatever, so it breaks up a lot more, so it gives you more of a classic rock sound. So what I want to look at tomorrow is, because I'd like to keep that channel and leave it clean, volume up, but pretty much it doesn't have any breakup in it. But if I want that classic rock sound, maybe I can just get an overdrive pedal that will do it, and it'll basically I'll just turn it on that clean channel when I need like that AC/DC type of Leonard Skinner type of drive or whatever. And that way I'll have a completely clean channel on that amp, and then if I hit the overdrive, I'll have that, and then I have my high gain channels as well. So I'll be looking at that tomorrow probably. I'm not sure which one. I'm looking at OCD, maybe a Friedman overdrive or something. But Poo Ninja says, I'm hoping to get the Rev D20, but I got no cash. Yeah, I don't know what the price is on the D20. I saw Robert Baker did a little video on it. I think it was yesterday. Looks like a really cool amp, and it's got a lot of options, especially if you're a studio guy. So, but I don't know what the price is. Gussie says my Dirty Shirley can get pretty aggressive when I push it. I used to have the Dirty Shirley pedal. I should have kept it because it would have been perfect for what I need right now, but I traded it when I was getting all bunch. Well, I traded equipment last year like crazy. You'd buy something, trade it for something else, and need something different. But yeah, I know that the Dirty Shirley is a great sounding amp. Will says, so a question in general, why don't some Canadians who are musicians, why don't you get a P.O. box or a friend in the USA and save some money on guitars? Well, that's an option, and the problem is you still have to pay some border or some brokerage fees bringing them into Canada, unless you smuggle them in, right? And you know, you take your chances. But yeah, that is an option. I mean, you could find somebody in the States that, you know, you buys a guitar and then you go and you pick it up, or have a P.O. box and go pick it up there. And I used to do that. I used to race RC cars, believe it or not, off-road RC cars, like big 8-scale cars with nitro engines in them and everything. And a lot of the parts that I ordered for those cars were all coming from the States. So I had a friend of mine that lives not far from Buffalo, and on the Canadian side, like just around Hamilton area, and he would go down. He had his P.O. box set up down there, and we would order our stuff and get it all shipped to there, and he would go and just, you know, but the way he was doing it is he was altering the invoice or whatever, but he would declare it when he got to the border. He would say, I've got this, and they would give him the invoice, but obviously the prices were a lot different than what he actually paid, so that helped. But that's an option, you know. I'd have to look into it, because yeah, there's quite a difference. But even that, you still got to consider that your Canadian dollar is only worth about 70, I don't know what it is today, maybe 74, 75 cents American. So if I've got Canadian money, if I've got $3,000 Canadian, that $3,000 Canadian is only worth, I'm going to say 22, 23 American. Right? So you still have to do that balancing act. It's not American money, right? So you still end up paying more no matter what. So even if I order something from Sweetwater today and the site says, you know, it's $300, and I order it with my credit card, I still have to pay the exchange. So whatever my dollar is worth, you know, when I get my credit card bill, I'm going to pay, instead of 300, it'll be, you know, close to 400 Canadian that I'm paying. So just the way it is, sucks. I like the 594 a bit better. The pickups are great, more clarity, even coil splitting, versatile. Yeah, no, PRSs are really nice guitars, and the 594 would be the one that I would go for if I was getting a PRS. That's definitely true. And then Bam says, I know the PRS doesn't have heritage, but makes up for it in excellent quality and superb customer. Yeah, you can't argue with PRS's quality, customer service. You're right there. But my thing is, I had PRSs. When I got back into music, I bought a PRS Zach Myers. I had a PRS Custom 24. I had a PRS S2. And not that I didn't like those guitars, I just, when I had the Les Pauls as well, and I always went to the Les Paul as opposed to playing those guitars. It was just a preference thing, right? So everybody's got a comfort zone where they're really, you know, it's that one guitar that, even though I've got some Tellys and the Strat back there, I always still pick up a Les Paul when I get in here, the majority of the time. Like, not all the time, because these Friedmans are really nice, and they, you know, I always, you know, play them a lot. But I'd say today, if you said, Brian, you can only keep one guitar out of your whole collection, it would be a Les Paul. It would stay. It's just it's that comfort zone. That's what it's all about for me. But it's not that other guitars aren't good or that I can't play them and any of that. It's just you find that one, and you know, that becomes your number one, and then you get some variety in there. That's fine, but that's all it is. Let's see, blackmarketguitars.com, lol. Don't know your border patrol agents. Yeah. Yeah, those days, knowing, like, I used to live in a small town and we were right on the border of Maine, and it used to be like this, just a little building, and you could, you know, drive up to the window and say, you have anything to declare? No, no, good. And you would get to know the people that worked there because it was the same people, right? You had 2 or 3 of them that always worked there, and they rotated, but you get to know them and they get to know you. It was like super easy to do, but I was a teenager, right? You could go across and come back, but it's not like that anymore. It's a lot more strict. Gussie says conversion cost right now is not worth it. Yeah, and it used to be that our dollar at one point was on par with the U.S. dollar, so that was awesome. So a Canadian dollar was the same as an American dollar, and the American prices were still there, and the Canadian prices hadn't changed. So you were still paying $3,000+ for a Les Paul that was selling for $2,500 in the States. So back then, if I was into guitars and music, I only got back in, like I said, about a year ago, or just a little over a year ago. But 2 years before that was when our dollar was, for some reason, it was on par. That was amazing time to buy, you know, stuff in the States for a lot cheaper. And that, like I said, I was racing RC cars back then too. So when we bought our parts, we were getting, you know, at par for the dollar. That was amazing, but that's not the case right now. That's for sure. Will says, but you have high import taxes. Yes, well, we pay in Ontario, we pay 13% on everything. So even if you bring in something from outside, I think they charge you your brokerage fee and then a tax on top of that, which I think is 13% bringing them in. So what is this? Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened with the mic there, but anyway. Brad Egan, Brian, you bastard, I'm at work, can't stay. Yeah, I'm only testing right now, Brad. It's not an official thing, no problem. Brad, if you're still on and you want to go to Cosmo tomorrow, a few of us are meeting up there, so let me know. Send me a text or a message and you can meet us. I think we're all going to be there around noon anyway, and then can have a coffee or something and then start raiding the store. Let's see. Poo Ninja says 0.74 US to 1 right now. Yeah, so about 74 cents is what our Canadian dollar is worth right now to your US ones. So that's why that's kind of the way it is. Robert Page says, was nice to get beer in Hamlin, Maine on Friday nights. I know, right? Robert Page was a buddy of mine that we grew up together in the same little town as well, and we were right on the border. So Thrash Metal, what's going on? Surprise Cote show, awesome. Yeah, not really a Cote show, just had a little computer issue that crashed everything while I was tracking. I didn't lose my session or my studio, the work that I did today on the song, but I did lose a bunch of settings in my live streaming setup, so I had to reconfigure, and there was some funky stuff happening, but it seems to be working okay right now, and we'll see if that holds. Brad says, I'm in. Okay, cool, Brad. All right, well, yeah, you can meet me there if you want, or we can meet somewhere else. It's up to you. But yeah, I'll be at Cosmo. Definitely, I'll be there at noon. So that'll be cool. Well, we got a bunch of. We're probably gonna have a bunch of people there. Cosmo's gonna wonder what the hell is all these guys doing here. They're all here together trying guitars and taking over the amp room. Bam Ozzy says, I admit there's something about Gibson Les Pauls, but only if you find the one with PRSs. They are all great. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you, and that's why I have to try the Les Pauls and figure out which ones are the ones that fit me. And that's what I did with these two. I went through a couple of traditionals before I found this one that really appealed to me. And my standard was the one. I tried a bunch of standards, and that was the one that kind of stuck with me. And I hate to having to sell that one, but if I want the R9, that's the only way I can do it, basically, because I can't just, money-wise, you can't just pop that money on an R9 without selling something else to fund some of it. So So there you go. There's a 2016 standard back there that is a beautiful AAA top. I mean, you know, it's 60s profile neck, burst buckler pickups, mint, no a scratch on it. So if I do end up selling it, you guys are in the market for one, let me know, because especially if you're American, because if I sell that, I'll be selling it for, right now in Canada, standards, brand new standards are going for $3,600 plus tax. Used ones in Canada are going for about $3,000, $2,800. Maybe you might find one for $2,600 that's a little bit beat up or whatever. Not beat up, but has maybe a blemish or a scratch on it. So I'm looking at about $3,000-ish or $2,800 maybe. It'd be the lowest I'd go on that, Canadian. So if you're buying it from the States with American money, you'd only be paying something like $1,900 or $2,000 for a Les Paul standard. That's some amazing deal. And that's the AAA top burst. So just letting you guys know, I'm not trying to sell you a guitar or anything, but figured I'd let you guys know. I'd rather sell it to somebody in the community than some random person that I don't know, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, when you can sell it to somebody, a player or somebody in the community that you know, it's nice to see it go to that instead. Bam Ozzy says it's similar rate to the dollar, to your dollar. Okay, yeah. I think we're pretty close as far as what our values are. Vincent, what's going on? I agree, Brian. I'll pick up one of my Les Pauls before the custom 24. Yeah, it's just a preference, man. I don't know what it is about it. Some people, you know, and some people that they do that for tellies or for strats or whatever. That's their number one. That's what they feel most at home with, and that's what they go to, and that's what they play. That's all it is. Preferences. But we have a lot of options right now, right? So it makes it pretty nice time to be a guitar player as far as the options we have for gear. Like when I got back into it, I didn't know a lot about even the new stuff that was out. I was still pretty much a traditionalist. So if you consider that I quit music in 2007, I guess, would be the last time that I played live. And then I sold all my stuff, and that was all bass gear. I wasn't even looking at guitar gear. And coming back into it, seeing stuff like the Helix and the Aux and all these high-end amps and, you know, some great guitars that are really nice, you know, professional, like really good builds on them for not a lot of money, some of them. That really was pretty shocking because I wasn't even expecting the Helix to be what it is, because I was used to the old, like, I don't know when the Pod came out, but that I had one of those for bass once, and it was pretty like, you know, so, and that was probably early 2000s. So considering what the Helix is today, I wasn't expecting that. It's pretty good. What else do I miss? Anything? Jimmy T, what's going on, man? We got a few people in here for just a quick jump on and test, eh? That's pretty good. Ben says, Brian just reminded me I need to post some online ads. Yeah. I usually post my stuff on Kijiji, which is a Canadian type of site for selling things. It's like Craigslist, I guess. And I usually get, you know, pretty good. Everything I've posted on there I've sold, and I've pretty much, you know, I've negotiated prices and stuff. Some I've got my price, and some I've had to go down a bit, which is fine. You know, it's part of the game. So I have no problem doing that. And like I said, Les Pauls are, you know, if you price them right, they're not hard sells. And that one is like, I posted a picture of that one. If you go to my Instagram account, Brian Cote Music, a couple of days ago I posted a picture of that one, kind of like a close-up looking up. And so you can really see the top and the flame and everything, because that's a AAA top on it. And it's pretty nice, man. So they give you a good idea of what that is. Let's see if I missed anything here. That's, oh, okay. Bam Ozzy put some prices there in the chat for the custom 22 and 24 core models. Yeah, not top 10 tops. Yeah. 10 tops are expensive. You definitely pay a premium for those. And I didn't care if it was 10 top or not when I bought that standard back there. It's just what they had in the store, and when I played it, I really loved it. And they did give me a pretty good deal on it. I still, had to pay premium for the top, but I didn't buy it because of that. It just, I liked the guitar and it played really nice. So, because they had other standards there that didn't have 10 tops on them. They had different tops, and they would have been, probably $300 to $400 cheaper. But when I played them, that one was the best playing one, so that's what I went for. Yeah, going with Kijiji. Ben says, Jimmy T said, had a sore guitar finger for a while, comes and goes, damn it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. I don't know. I guess as we get older, our joints and everything, you can feel it, right? Poo Ninja says, my Pod HD 500 has way less options for bass than the, I don't know what that is, X Live did, but overall the 500 HD is way better, but Helix is the bomb. Yeah, Helix has come along, like that technology's come a long way, and you can see it in the Helix. James Severin, what's going on? Bam says, Gibsons here drop quickly and are cheaper used than PRSs unless it's 50-year-old. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, PRSs do hold their value very well. It's just, it's whatever the market is here for it. I see them when I search online pretty much on every couple of weeks. I go on to see what's on there and see what's moved and what hasn't. And sometimes I see some PRSs though that don't move as quickly. They're priced pretty high. They do hold their value, but sometimes they take a little longer to sell depending on, the market they're trying to sell to. Where Les Paul is more like, I see them move a lot quicker. Maybe they're a little cheaper than the PRSs that are on there, but they seem to be more popular, I guess. Will says, oh, you're talking to Ben. I've been to Toronto before, a Blue Jays Yankee game for 3 years ago. Oh, cool. I went to see the Jays play last year, and they were playing the Yankees. I go to 1 or 2 games a year, that's it. And I went last year, I think it was late in the year. When was it? No, it was in July. I went in July, and I went with my wife and my mom. My mom came down to visit, so we went down, and they were playing the Yankees. So we had some great seats. We had some seats that were kind of like front row, third base line or whatever, so it was pretty cool. The Sky Dome, as we call it, which is Rogers, is it Rogers Center now? Yeah, I think it's still, it used to be called the Sky Dome, but it's a great building. It's old though, I mean, it's, well, old. When I moved to Toronto, they were just opening it, and then I moved to Toronto in 1990. So 90, 2000, so it's, yeah, it's got a couple of years on it. But it's a nice building. It's awesome. Lots of events go on there. None of my PRSs are 10 top, and I think they look stunning. Certainly have character. Yeah, they don't have to be a 10 top to really have a really cool look. And I know PRS puts a lot of work in their finishes, so I don't doubt it. Will says, Ben Coombe, fly Air Canada. Yeah. I got to fly next week. Next Friday, I'll be at this time, next Friday, I'll be in Vegas. And I'm flying with WestJet. So, but it's pretty cool because when I fly for work, because I'm bringing cameras and stuff, I always book like the plus seats, which are, it's kind of like first class, but WestJet, it's like they have a section where it's plus. The only benefit to that, you do have to pay a little bit more for the seat, obviously, but I'm going through work, so they're covering it. But I have to bring like a camera bag and some stuff that have to go on the plane. I can't check it. And if you're not doing that, let's say you just buy a regular ticket and maybe you're the last one on or in the mid, and you have to bring your bag on and there's no room in the overhead anymore, then they take that bag and they check it, and I can't do that with the equipment that I'm bringing. So I book a plus seat, and that gives me, I'm first on the plane, and I get a guaranteed spot to put that stuff in. So that's kind of cool. And the other thing I got last year was a Nexus Pass, which is kind of like what would that be called in the States? It's like a, what do they call it? It's like a TSA thing or whatever, where you're pre-checked already, like you had to go through the process. They find out you're not a criminal, and blah, 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 all this stuff. And then when you go there, you don't have to go through the security line that everybody else goes to. You have your own little security line, so you go through there. There's like almost nobody there anytime. You don't have to take your shoes off and your belt off and take your laptop out. You just put everything on the thing. It rolls through, you're in, and then you're off and running. I love that thing. That was totally worth it. It was kind of a pain in the ass to get because you got to go through the whole process, and it takes a couple of months to, you know, fill out the forms, you send them in, you wait, they send you more forms, you do all that, and you have to go for an actual interview at the airport with the customs officers and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a hassle, but at the end of the day, and I think it cost like $70 or $80 total to do the whole thing, but it's just a long process. But once you have it, and you're good for 5 years, and after 5 years you renew it, but you don't have to go through the whole process again. You just bring your card in and they kind of do a quick renew. But it's definitely worth it if you're flying. Oh my God. And for me, being a photographer and having that gear, it's like a no-brainer, because when you don't, and you go through the regular security line and you've got the type of gear that I'm bringing through, and you have to take it out and you have to look at it, and it's a pain. It's absolutely horrible, because then if they have any questions about something, they make you take everything out, and everything is packed in a certain way in these bags. So it's there like because to fit everything and to make everything, you know, safe and secure, you have to pack it in a certain way. Well, they just take everything out and they look at everything, and then they just put on the side and say, okay, you're good. And you got to put everything back in and figure out, you know, it's just a pain. So that Nexus card was like a lifesaver. I'm glad that's one of the best investments if you're going to travel. And you can use it when you go through any border, like the border flying or driving or whatever. If you're going through the US, you use it there, and you get through a lot quicker and you don't have to deal with all the hassle. Let's see. Brian, today was double Metallica Friday if you need. Yeah, I saw your Seek and Destroy one, which you premiered yesterday, I believe. So that was cool. Sounded really good. So definitely keep up on that stuff. Ben says, I think the Sky Dome is 30. Yeah, it is 30 years old. I think it opened in 89 or something. Poo Ninja says, I had to reboot my channel. I lost some funny stuff. Oh, no. Supply and demand. If Gibsons are easy to find, whereas PRSs are specially used, you have to really search. Yeah, I hear you. Jimmy T is getting an internet upgrade today after 5 years of waiting. Well, you're lucky. I wish I could get an internet upgrade because my internet is like super cheesy. But someday we'll get regular internet here in the country. Not fiber to the house, but fiber in the street, just cable to the house. And still, I'd rather have something high speed, because we're not high speed by no means here. And I'm able to do this, which is, when I first started doing streaming or thinking about streaming, I was like, I don't think I can do it, not from home anyway. I could do it from my studio that I work out of for my work, like in Mississauga, because I've got high speed there. But I'm only there when I'm doing production, and it's not my studio, it's like work thing, so it's full of cameras and everything else. So this environment is my music studio, and this is my home, so I prefer to stream from here. But it was a huge consideration whether or not I was going to be able to live stream. So I'm able to do it, and for the most part it works okay. Sometimes there's some glitches and things like that, and I'm not able to stream at 1080p or 720. I'm streaming at 480, I think, which, you know, at the end of the day, it's about the content and getting the look as good as you can. So I try to keep the production values up there. But, you know, a lot of people are watching on iPads and iPhones and things like that. So unless you're watching this on a plasma screen downstairs in your basement or something, you're not going to notice, you know, a crazy quality drop. And even the streams that I watch on my iPhone, I set my YouTube settings to, I think, 240 or something like that. And on my iPad, I set it to 360, just so it doesn't take up a lot of bandwidth and it loads a lot easier, and I'm able to watch the streams and participate in them. So, you know, it is what it is. You kind of have to make it work in your situation. And if you've got good internet, and like I wish I had a really good internet here, I could stream at 1080p and I had unlimited, I could, you know, that would be awesome, but it's just not the case. And I like living here. I don't want to live in the city I work in the city, and when I'm done work, I like to get the hell out and have my own space. And here, there's nothing around me. It's in the country. It's nice and quiet. I love it. But I have to deal with stuff like shitty internet. Just the way it is. Ben says, I would upgrade. My ISP fiber is only a couple of miles away, which sucks. Yeah. Oh, well, someday, Ben. Someday. Will says, yeah, lines at the TSA suck. That's why I travel sometimes with Amtrak or take short flights that are under 1.5. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Will, if you do travel a lot, definitely look into getting that card, which in the States, I don't remember what it's called. It has something, Global Entry, I think it's what it's called in the States. Here in Canada, they call it the Nexus card, which is the same thing as Global Entry. But it definitely saves you a ton of time. I remember once I was leaving Vegas, and then the thing I'm going to in Vegas is a big show, like what NAMM is, but for people that are into photography and videography and filmmaking, and all of Hollywood and all the live streamers and all the big technology companies that do any of this type of broadcasting are all there. So it takes over the whole convention center and a couple of hotels in Vegas. It takes that all over for a week, and it's packed. I mean, you're talking, I think there's over 150 or 200,000 registrants for this conference. So last year when I left, everybody leaves at the same time, like around Thursday or Friday when everything's done. So everybody hits the airport. Well, you should have seen the lineup at the airport that was there for the security line. If I didn't have my Nexus card and I didn't go through the other, I guess, portion where you can bypass the regular line, I would have been in line for at least 2 hours, or if not more. It was insane. And when you see something like that, it's like, oh man, thank you, Lord, that I got. And the reason I got that card was because I did go through that many years. I had to go through that because I didn't have the Nexus card. But once I got that card, man, wow. You definitely appreciate it, let's put it that way. I'm gonna get off here in about a couple of minutes because I think usually Philip McKnight goes on at 5 on Fridays, I believe. I'm not sure. Sometimes he misses. I haven't gotten a notification anything yet today, but I'd like to get off so you guys can go see that. Jimmy T says, at least you got 7 gigs or so, I believe, Brian. Well, I don't have, no, well, I've got 20 down and like 1.5 up or something is what I have for a service. But it's not unlimited either, so I've got to be careful not to go over because they charge you big time. Gussie says, hey, gangs, let's give Brian a big thumbs up. Yeah, yeah, if you want, you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I'm not too concerned with that stuff, obviously. Like, I don't know, not a big deal, but thank you if you do. I appreciate it. Crap internet beats crap neighborhoods. Yeah, you're definitely right with that. Amen, brother. I'd rather have a nice, quiet place that's your own and don't have to deal with a bunch of neighbors and a bunch of other stuff, traffic, crazy noise. I'd rather have that than high-speed internet, let's put it that way. Because you got to remember, I work in the city for the most part, unless I'm working from home, and I do work from home from time to time. But when I have to go to the city, to the studio, where I have to go on location to do some work or whatever, it's usually 9 times out of 10 I'm in the city, and you're spending, you know, a ton of time on busy highways. Like the highways here in Toronto are insane. Like I'm talking about traffic from, I leave my house, I get up at 5 in the morning, I leave my house at 6 in the morning to kind of beat the rush, the regular rush, and I'm already in rush hour at 6. There's tons of traffic at 6, and then by 8 or whatever, it's like, forget it. You're just going to be an hour on the street to go, you know, 25 kilometers or something. It's crazy. And then when I leave work, I try to leave around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and even at that point, it's complete rush hour. Used to be rush hour would start around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Not anymore. Now it's like constant. It just, there's way too many people, and everybody's driving. So when I can get out of there and get into my spot here where it's completely nice, secluded, quiet, then I love that. So I need that for my Sanity. Will says, my unlimited service, $39. Wow. Then it goes up to 50. Still, Will, if I told you what I pay for internet here, and knowing the crappy internet that I get as far as service, you would fall on your back. Because at $59, I would be like, wow, jumping up and down and crazy happy about that, because I pay, well, I'll tell you what I pay. I have no problem telling you what I pay for the internet. So I get a really crappy service. Let's start with that. I get 1.5 upload speed, and I get about 20 download speed on a good day. And I only get 150 gig a month max. So I can't use Netflix and all that stuff, and forget it. I would run out of bandwidth, and then all the streaming and stuff that I want to do. Well, just for that, I pay $113 a month. So if you're paying $39 and you've got unlimited service, good on you. And if you're only going to pay, I would pay $59 in a heartbeat if that was offered. So now you can feel my pain. Nathan says, what is your full-time occupation? Music? No, my full-time occupation is multimedia manager at a college. So I do all their videography, all their live streaming, and all the photography. And I also have my own photography business kind of on the side that I do my own like freelance work and stuff. So I have clients through there as well. Music is definitely a hobby for me. I used to play in a band, not full-time. I still had a full-time job, but the band did tour and did, you know, a lot of gigs every weekend. We were booked all the time. So I did have an income from that for many years. But in 2007, when I quit or whatever, when the band kind of ended, I kind of quit music, everything. So music right now is just a hobby for me, which is cool. And right now, like today was the first day of tracking for my goal this year was to produce a solo album, my own music, my own stuff. And so today was the first day of tracking some materials for that. And my hope is that by the end of the year that I've got, you know, everything done and I can release something, you know, release it through the internet, obviously not through a record company or anything like that. But I still have a lot of contacts in the music industry as far as, you know, publishers and, you know, producers and things like that I can reach out to if I need, you know, if I need some help there, if I want to release it to a broader audience or a different way. But I'm thinking I'm just going to do everything myself and keep it simple that way, and probably do the publishing through a company like DistroKid or something of that nature. And that's kind of my goal. And we'll see, you know, things change during the year. I might run into some issues and I might not be able to complete everything this year that I want to do. But that's the goal. I think it's important to always kind of give yourself at the beginning of the year, this is what I want to accomplish, and these are the things I want to tackle. And then you tackle as much as you can. And at the end of the day, if you can't do everything, it's okay, right? But at least you've got some sort of target that you're trying to hit and you work towards it. Same thing with this live streaming stuff. My YouTube channel was just I started my YouTube channel back in 2009 or something, and all I did was register a YouTube channel, and I never did anything with it. I just wanted a YouTube channel because everybody was kind of, you know, YouTube was new, and I figured I'd better get a channel now, and I'd post a few videos of the band or something I was in or some old stuff, but there was nothing. I think I posted from 2009, I think is when I started the channel, or 2010, until 2015, 16, I might have had like 7 videos on there. So I never used it. I just never did. So this year, one of my goals was to do live streaming, do regular videos and so forth. So since January, I've posted a lot of content and a lot more live streaming things. So that's another goal of mine that I wanted to do this year. So that's what it's all about, I guess. Bell offers unlimited at reasonable prices now. Yeah, but they don't offer it everywhere. That's the problem. And if you're in the country, you get kind of stuck with whatever's available. Unlimited 25 down, 10 up with taxes. That's amazing. Yeah, I wish I had that. Let's see, I'm just going to run down the chat real quick and then we'll call it. Robert Page says, I'd love to put a cover album out. I'm thinking about, yeah, it's a good idea. You could always do that. I might put a cover song on the album that I'm doing, but we'll see. Rest in peace, old school TV, yeah. Because he says, Ben Coombs, they can now do upgrades without working on the hub. Give them a call, might be faster service. Yeah, I know that there's a company working at bringing us high speed everywhere, and the government has given them a bunch of money, but they're doing it like section by section, and it's taking forever. So I hope that someday it comes here, and we'll have to wait and see when they get there. Hey, EVH TV Network, what's going on? Here for a few. Sorry, I'm late. No problem. I'm about to call it anyway, because I just needed to test this thing after my software got all wonky and I had to reconfigure a bunch of audio stuff here. So I just needed to run this test to make sure I had everything back up and running before I start doing like my Monday show. I didn't want to wait till Monday to figure it out. So thanks for jumping on. Brian Stewart, what's going on? Just got home from spring vacation. Wow. Cool. Hope you had a good time. Gussie says, where are neighbors? I bet you can get the same plan. Oh, we are neighbors, he says. Yeah. No, I checked in on it. There's only that one. ExploreNet is the only one that I can get here. Everything else is like, and it's not far, just down this road in Loretto, which is probably 5 kilometers away from me. They have like Rogers cable internet and stuff. It's just they need to run the line up here, and they haven't done that because I guess there's not enough residents in this area to I guess do it. I just steal the internet from ISS. Yeah. Cool. All right, well guys, I think I'm going to jump off now, and we've kind of figured out my audio issue, which thank God that's figured out. I don't know why that happened. I'm just glad it didn't corrupt my my Studio One session with all the tracking that I was doing today. I would have hated to lose all that, so that's a good thing. But I think it's all okay now. Screenshot your settings, Brian. Screenshot my settings. Yeah. Well, I do, and I saved my settings. Well, the Studio One, it saves it, so I think I'm okay there. But in my live streaming software here, you can save the template, which I did. And then when I went to open up the template, it said, can't open template, corrupt file or something. And it had something to do with my digital connection going into my interface from my aux. Because as soon as I unplugged that, then I was able to run my system the way that it was supposed to. So it is what it is. Vincent, what's going on? So Eric, yeah, tomorrow I guess we're all going to meet up at Cosmo. Everybody should be there around noon, so that'll be cool. And bring money, because you're going to see a lot of cool stuff. I know you probably don't need anything. You're pretty much set for gear, but I always say that as well, and then I walk in there and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Let me try this. Maybe I'll grab this. And the thing with me is you can try stuff, right? So with them, you can, let's say there's a pedal or something I really want to try, I'll buy it, and then I'll bring it here and I'll try it, and if it's doing what I need, then I'll keep it, and if not, then I've got 30 days to bring it back and pick something else, right? Hope to see you in Toronto tomorrow, Brian. Yeah, you'll see me if you're going to Cosmo. You'll definitely see me, because I know Guitar Hack will be there at noon. I'll be there at noon, and if anybody else wants to join us that is in the area, you can definitely do that. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for jumping in this afternoon. It was just a quick test. I'm glad that I was able to figure it out, because I was a little concerned that I was going to have to rebuild this whole template and everything else. And there's still probably some tweaks I'm going to have to do to this. I haven't really dove too deep into the program to see if anything else screwed up, but I don't get it. You know how it is with computers and technology. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But we'll figure it out. And with that, I will say have a good weekend, everybody. And we'll try to, I don't know if we'll be able to go live from tomorrow's music store adventure. If we are, then we'll we might try that. If not, then I think we'll record a little bit of video. I don't know how much we can or want to, but we'll see. If we do, we'll post that up and for everybody to see and enjoy. And other than that, have a good weekend, and I hope you guys get the chance to play some guitar in the weekend and do some fun stuff. And yeah, it's all good. Thanks for jumping in, folks, and I will see you next time. Again, Monday night, we're going to be starting at 7, and I think Ben's show is going to be at 8 on Monday night, so he's changing his Canucks with Guitars show, so that's why I moved mine to 7. He's gone at 8, so that'll give us enough time to do everything. And I think Eric, maybe Eric can post in here, I think Eric has a show tonight. It might be Kramer Corner or Helix, I'm not sure. But if he is, he'll post it in here, and I think it's at 9 o'clock, so definitely check that out. Eric always has great content, so definitely check out his channel. If you're not already a subscriber, go subscribe and check out his shows. And with that said, I will wish you a happy weekend, or a good weekend, or whatever it is that you say, and see you on Monday night at 7 o'clock. All right, take care, guys.